All right. I guess we're live. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Labor Day. We're laboring on Labor Day. I know we're supposed to be celebrating not laboring or a day off, but we're doing a little bit of laboring. Okay. Not a lot of laboring. Okay. So don't get crazy. It's certainly not back. It's not like back in the late 1800s where, you know, our ancestors were working 12 to 14 hours a day in a salt mine. So, you know, now we work 12, 14 hours a day in our house, in our home offices. It's a little better anyway. We've come a long way in the last 130, 40 years or whatever it is. So anyway, I hope you are having a peaceful Labor Day. Hopefully you're going to be investing some of that with friends and family, at least those that are close by. Keep your celebrations small, I guess, is probably the best word for the season. For us, we're doing something kind of homegrown here. So anyway, we are still going to be training this week, though, each day and every day. And today, Monday's Market to Message Match. Before we get into our training, I'm going to bring on Ronan. And there's nobody out there today. Look at that. They're all having fun, I hope.
They are. They're all going to wait for the replay.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. So interesting that you talk about Labor Day. There's a show on Amazon Prime called The Men Who Built America or something like that. Talks about Vanderbilt and Carnegie and Rockefeller and all those guys. And it's really fascinating. I mean, you know, the working conditions back then. There's a point where Carnegie wants to make more money. So he fires a bunch of people, cuts everybody's pay, and makes them work longer hours.
Hey, you know, like I said, we've come a long way. But here's what's also interesting. I don't know if it's in this show or not, but I was reading a little bit after we talked earlier this morning. I read up a little bit about Labor Day and kind of how it came about. And very interesting. I was right. The federal government did send troops to Chicago to settle the unrest that was going on with workers, and workers were killed. Police were killed in a basically a rioting type situation. And I'm like, what is it almost sounded like today.
Right.
And it's just crazy that we're still fighting with each other.
There is a portion of the show where Andrew Carnegie is in Europe, and the guy who runs the mill, Homestead Mill, where they manufacture steel, they were kind of on strike. I mean, they just all left. And then the Pinkertons, which were like a private came in and started shooting people. And it was just like, whoa.
Well, we are way off topic, at least for our training,
but it's Labor Day.
It's interesting to observe. It's interesting to observe the similarities of back in the 1890s. Anyway, in order to help you labor more effectively, we would like to go through this training with you today. So let's do it.
All right. So not to forget, we are live, right? This is the real deal. So comment and ask questions, and we will answer them. And I'll see you in a little bit.
Sounds good. All right. So Market to Message Match. This is how we like starting every week, because this is how we like starting and do start every single new marketing campaign. So whether you have an existing campaign that needs a refresh, or you are about to embark on a new marketing campaign, this is super important information. And I'm actually going to walk you through a formula that we use that you're welcome to screenshot, write down, take notes. And I'm going to give you just a little assignment, okay? And you don't have to do it today if you want to take the rest of the day off, but at least come back tomorrow with it done. Anyway, so here it is, Market to Message Match. What is it? It's quite simply matching the who you want to connect with your message. Market is the who, and message, of course, is what it is that you say to those people in any format that you desire, whether it's social media, email, connection requests, visually in pictures or video. It's very, very important that your message resonates with what we call the conversation going on in the mind of the people that you want to have a conversation with. And 99 times out of 100, if you're running a marketing campaign of any kind and it's not working, it's because you haven't matched your market and your message. And so let's get into the slides, and I'm going to share the formula that we use to resolve this. So here we go. So the first part of it is for you to pick an industry, and pick an industry, preferably that you already have a lot of experience working in. And industries are large, right? There are things like entertainment, automotive, healthcare, travel, etc. There's a lot of them. Okay, so whatever industry you deal in, write it down, and we're going to get pretty specific here as we go. But to start with, I want to get you in the mindset thinking, okay, you are going to be creating a message for someone in an industry. All right, and we're going to get to that someone in just a moment. All right, next, I want you to think of a specific market segment within whatever industry you chose. So let's say you chose healthcare. Maybe a market segment that you work in is dentistry or orthodontics or acupuncture or pediatrics or whatever. Okay. Or maybe it's something nutrition, right? Like fitness or things like that, or, and just think of a market segment that you specialize in, that you want to create a marketing message in, and write that down. The more specific you get here, the more effective your messaging will be, and the more effective this exercise will be for you. And I'll pause just here for a moment to let you know that it doesn't mean you can't have multiple campaigns running in parallel. We do all the time in our businesses. But when we're creating a message, we create that message for a specific person within a specific market segment. And then we might have a different message, slightly different message that speaks to someone else in a different market segment, even within the same industry. And that brings us to your ideal prospect. That's the who. So with whatever market segment you chose, write down the title, the position, the person within that market segment that you want to have a conversation with. It's as simple as that. If you were to fill up, if I were to fill up a room full of 12 of those people, who are they? What are their titles? What kind of companies do they work for? How much experience do they have? Who are they? And really try to understand that before you create your message. So if you chose, let's say, I don't know, physical fitness or fitness as your market segment, or is it a personal trainer you want to speak with? Is it the gym? Is it a gym owner? Who is it? Literally within that market segment. And sometimes you might have you might have multiple titles that you want to attract. That's fine, but try to limit it to no more than two or three. Okay, and that's your person. That's who we're going to create this message for. And then that brings us to the final and fourth step, which is to spend some time being thoughtful about what is it that those people that you wrote down desire most, and what is it that those people are frustrated with most, and really have two separate lists. And the more you get this right, the better your messaging will come out. So think about, we'll go back to, let's say, a gym owner. I'm not in that market, so I'm just gonna throw some wild guesses out there. But maybe gym owners desire to, I don't know, have more time to spend with their families. Maybe because they're married to their business, maybe they have to be at the gym all the time. Maybe they desire, maybe that may be a frustration of theirs too. Again, I don't know. I'm not a gym owner, but I'm just speculating. Okay, maybe they desire more loyalty from their memberships, from their members, or they want their members to stay longer with them. So maybe they desire that so that they don't have to work so hard to create additional income. Maybe they desire, I don't know, better equipment in their gym. Who knows? I'm just, or less complaining from members that aren't happy. Just if whatever market you're in, you should know some of these answers. Like, what are they frustrated with? What do they desire most? Because that's what's going to come out in your messaging. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how that manifests itself into a message. But the more accurately you get this, and the more emotionally you connect with your people, the better your marketing will work. I promise you. So one of the ways that one of the message types that you will create as a result of this is a headline. And a headline, we use it obviously in our LinkedIn messaging, but it can be used in a lot of different areas. It can be used in Facebook posts, Instagram posts. It can be used as subject lines on an email, in a lot of different areas. So here's an example of how this looks as a headline, if you will, statement. This happens to be one of the LinkedIn headlines we use, which is guaranteed appointments for business consultants and coaches seeking clients with six-figure budgets. And so let me unpack this a bit so you can understand how this relates to what we just went through. So first and foremost, we are mentioning what we do. Okay, guaranteed appointments. And that's important because you want to, right off the bat, you don't want to have any confusion as to what it is that you do. So that's that. The next thing we do is we call out the people we do it for, in this case, business consultants and coaches. Now, candidly, we could even be a bit more specific here. If we choose, we could actually put an industry like business coaches and consultants in technology or in entrepreneurship or in finance, right? If we really wanted to get even more specific on our messaging. But for this example, we chose to go with something just a slightly more generic. But don't be, if 90% of your business or 80% of your business is in a particular industry like that, then state it. You'll have a better response. And then finally, the desire and the frustration or pain point. Seeking clients, that's a desire they have with six-figure budgets. Again, a desire they have. It's also sometimes a frustration that they have because it is oftentimes challenging for these particular types of professionals to be in front of people who actually have six-figure budgets. And so that is a desire, but it also kind of nudges a little bit on a frustration that they may also have. So that's unpacking a headline after we've gone through the exercise that we just showed you in creating our market to message match. And like I said, you can have multiple campaigns running simultaneously. It's rare when we meet a business that doesn't serve different types of people and different types of businesses using the same exact solution. But even though you might have the same solution or the same product, it's going to mean something different to different people in different market segments, and you want to speak their language. If you start speaking as if you're the best thing for everybody, then you're going to be not resonating with anybody. Is what I want you to take away from this. So don't be afraid to create half a dozen different campaigns using this formula if that's what's necessary for you. So I'm going to come back to full screen here. Boom, boom, and let's bring. There you go. It's quiet out there today.
It is. It is. People are still kind of
all
deciding
good
what to do for the day. But hey, this is like super fundamental, and I think what's really great about that exercise is it also helps you get clear about what it is that you want to reach, who it is you want to reach out to. And even if you only do it for a season, you're very laser focused, very targeted, and much more effective.
Absolutely. So last week we had one or two folks listening who actually went and this exercise, and then the next day showed us what they came up with for their headline for LinkedIn. We were actually able to help them. So if you want to do that, please don't hesitate to do that. We would be glad to help you. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, we will be back online going through the 3-point power profile, one of which happens to be your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn headline, one of the three. And so we're happy to give you some, focused input, coaching, whatever you want to call it. If you've gone through this exercise and wrote a headline, you can paste it into the comments. We'll see that, and who knows, maybe it will be helpful for you. So that's my offer for
Awesome.
Labor Day.
Great. So tomorrow we'll be back. 3-point power profile.
Man, someday
Yeah.
you're not going to get tongue twisted on that. 3-point power profile.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home now and practice. But yeah,
No, you're already home.
we will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay well, and look forward